Sohonie. Kamala Sohonie was an Indian biochemist who in 1939 became the first Indian woman to receive a PhD in a scientific discipline. Her acceptance into and work at the Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, paved the way for women to be accepted into the institution for the first time in its history. Kamala applied to the Indian Institute of Science for a research fellowship, but her application was turned down by the then director and Nobel laureate Professor C.V. Raman on the grounds that women were not considered competent enough to pursue research. Kamala responded to the rejection by holding a satyagraha outside Professor C.V. Raman's office, which persuaded him to grant her admission but with some stipulations. She would not be admitted as a regular candidate. She would be on probation for the entire first year. Her work would not officially recognized until C.V. Raman was himself satisfied with its quality. He would not spoil the environment by being a distraction to her male colleagues. Although admittedly humiliated by them, Kamala agreed to the terms, thus becoming in 1933 the first woman to be admitted into the institute. She would later say, though Raman was a great scientist, he was very narrow-minded. I can never forget the way he treated me just because I was a woman. Even then, Raman didn't admit me as a regular student. This was great insult to me. The bias against women was so bad at that time. What can one accept if even a Nobel laureate behaves in such a way? Also, after a year, many women got their admission to the institution. After receiving her PhD, Kamala returned to India in 1939. As a supporter of Mahatma Gandhi, she wanted to come back to her country and contribute to the nationalist struggle. She was appointed professor and head of the Department of Biochemistry at the Lady Hardinge Medical College in New Delhi. Later, she worked at the Nutritional Research Laboratory Corner as assistant director, focusing on the effects of vitamins. She married M.V. Sohonie, an actuary, in 1947 and moved to Mumbai. She joined the Royal Institute of Science as a professor in the Department of Biochemistry and worked on the nutritional aspect of legumes. Her eventual appointment to the position of director of the institute is believed to have been delayed by 4 years due to existing gender bias in the scientific community. During this period, Kamala and her students conducted important research on 3 groups of food items that are majorly consumed by financially disadvantaged section of people in India. Kamala started work on NIRA on the suggestion of then President of India Rajendra Prasad. She found significant quantities of vitamin A, vitamin C and iron in the drink, and that this element can survive concentration of NIRA into palm jaggery and molasses. Kamala was an active member of the Consumer Guidance Society of India. She was elected president of the CGSI for the 1982 to 1983 period. And she also authored articles on consumer safety for the organizational magazine called Kimat. Kamala Sohonie died in 1998, shortly after collapsing during the felicitation ceremony organized by Indian Council of Medical Research in New Delhi. On 18 June 2023, search engine Google commemorated Sohonie with a doodle on her 112th birthday anniversary.